when you first meet someone, you just kind of have a list of questions. Tell me about yourself. I don't want to be that boring person. But to me, what I might find interesting, he might not. So,
Okay.
I want to, like, medical stuff. Your
Yeah.
allergies, and, do we have things in common? This is so new to me, and there's no guidebook.
Right.
Every time I think of stuff, a lot of times I wonder, what is he going to ask about something specific? And I'm more concerned that I answer it in a respectful way to him and a respectful way to mom and dad and my grandmother. I don't want to make him feel like he lost out, because it was a great childhood. But I also want to honor my parents to a point. The whole plan is to be open to what he wants, his questions, answering his questions, because this is his show.
Right.
But, I want to ask about his high school years and his college years and what programs he was in and what kind of friends he had. Things like that I think are always interesting. I know that he moved a lot growing up, so I want to, find out about that. I'd really like to ask him about his grandparents, because he talked really highly about them in Washington State. Find out more about them, because evidently they were part of raising him. One thing that I'm interested in is I want to find out, because Mickey and Alan are more like mom personality-wise, and how they react to different situations, and I really am a little bit more laid back. I don't let things bother me because I'm not willing to waste the time, and I know I got that from Dad, but just talking to him, I get the feeling that he got that same temper maybe from Mom. It'd just be interesting to find out. That I do want to find out. I want to see what things we have in common. With Ancestry.com, they now have the DNA testing. And Tom Stewart had his DNA tested last year because he's concerned about health, because he knew he was adopted. So he wanted to find out health stuff, and he said he kind of had a hope that he might find some family out there. And my nephew Chris had his DNA done, my cousin Tyson, and then my second cousin Landon. And lo and behold, so Chris gets this connection, and at first it tells him it's his cousin, and my cousin Tyson gets a connection that says it's his cousin, and Landon gets a connection saying it's his second cousin. So initially the thought was that Mickey or I had a child we weren't aware of. So Chris, my nephew, got the phone number and called Tom and found out that Tom was actually older than us. And through triangulation genetically, my mom turned out could be the only one who was his mother. And so we all connected and got to talking and calling family members and friends of my mom's. Almost everybody claimed they knew nothing. One great aunt kind of started remembering some stuff about the summer before Tom was born. And so we came to realize that Tom was our brother, that Mom had given him up for adoption when she was 18. So that's what this weekend is about. Tom got his, once he knew Mom's name, he was able to request his original birth certificate. And it does say Baby Boy Montgomery. So after about 6 weeks of talking on the phone and going through 4 nieces having high school graduations and proms, we decided to wait till all that was over with, till we could have a whole weekend to really get together, relax, and get to know each other. So that's this weekend. Specifically tomorrow, June 16th, 2018, I become a brother again. So, congratulations, it's a boy. But he actually was originally from Midland, which is where Mom went to stay in a home for unwed mothers to have him. But the story the family was told was she was in beauty school at that time, was she went to Midland to finish beauty school from Amarillo. But we found out really she went down to have the baby. And then just 2 months after she had him, she met my dad. They fell in love, got married, and we were born.
So at this point, you don't know if your dad ever was told.
Know. I think if Dad had known, he would have told Aunt Barbara, and his closest sister, and she never knew about it. Several times I've talked to her, and I know Alan or Mickey have talked to her, and she knew nothing. And I think if Dad had known, she would have known. So that's even sadder that if Mom kept that she felt she had to hide that from Dad. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And I wonder if, as a kid, joking or something, if I ever said anything about, wish I had another brother. And, that's something that Mom, might have made her
Flinch,
yeah. Like, are you hinting at something?
Say oops in her head.
Yeah. Crap.
If I had known.
She could have said, what had happened was. No, but does that make sense? Because as kids, you joke about that, You're the big brother I wish I never had, that type thing.
Yeah.
This would be stranger if it was two people. If it was like just me and him meeting, I think I'd be more apprehensive. But I have the safety of my whole family there. I have people I've known my whole life. He doesn't. So, but you hear about like two long lost brothers meeting after they had both been given up for adoption, and they're in their 50s, and this kind of brings a lot more to talk about. It's going to be hard not to say, well, we Roselles, because that is a habit that we do when we're together.
Right.
But we're also half Montgomery, which he is half Montgomery, so
I think
on the phone we pretty much said Montgomery. Kind of sad for Tom.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun growing up. It was a fun time, fun family. We laughed a lot. And he missed all that. It wasn't just, the five of us. It was the cousins and our friends. And we were just a group that loved to laugh and joke and play and pick on each other, but always in a nice way, not hurtful. And he didn't get to have that growing up. Now you hear about people growing up as an only child, and I always thought, how horrible. I can't imagine. I would never want to have not been with my brothers. So I don't want to assume that Tom feels that way.
Right.
That maybe he was happy being an only child.
All right, if it's all you know.
And I know people who have siblings that wish they had been an only child.
So are you nervous?
Extremely. Oh my God. I need sedatives.
You mean more sedatives?
Well, yeah. Of course, Dairy Queen's always a good sedative. So here we are. This is so weird.
Yeah.
No, I changed my mind. Never mind. It's all.
I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize.
Just relax. I know.
That car didn't help it.
Yeah.
Have you lived in Mirror lately?
All the time. I get that from them too. Thank you very much.
That's right.
We all do have mustaches too.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm Mirror.
You need to fix your hair?
Both of them. You get one out of place.
Alright.
Yeah.
I got up and I was.
Are you two blind or what? Same glasses?
Same glasses.
I got mine stuck in my eyes, so I cheat.
Oh, I don't need them. Never mind.
Okay, so yeah, I need you to be a smart ass.
I just got. No,
No, Chris is a smart ass.
Chris is dork.
Can we go over here?
He's the one responsible.
It's all him.
Okay.
Not for the name tag for this meeting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lauren.
Yeah, that's the moment. It's like, okay, it's real. Until then, like Corey called me the other night. He's like, well, I was talking to your brother, and I'm like, okay, he would have said Alan, so he must have been talking to Mickey, and he said Tom. I went, oh yeah, I got a brother named Tom now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this, if you want to know what a Montgomery looks like, that's what a Montgomery looks like right there. So curly hair, wavy curly hair, tall, dark-headed, and lanky. That's what.
Okay, come here.
And we have first cousins in Missouri taller than him.
Yeah, but okay, did their hair stay?
We haven't.
You ready to do
Families,
something?
come on, families. Everybody behind us.
Yes.
Again, a really cool special one.
Oh, no, no, no.
Get the picture, or get the camera, and take a picture of us like you were saying.
Okay, Mickey, you're next. Oh, we're doing the side one. We're not doing
I was lost. I'm like, I don't remember that.
I was wondering what he was doing.
Remember the.
Okay, so grab the one in front of you, his belly.
And it was only headshot, wasn't it?
Turn back up.
No.
Suck your gut in, everybody.
Wait, what was your name?
Chase, get my phone and take a picture.
Moose, you gotta quit talking.
Dad.
Look at the camera right here.
Dad.
I've got pictures of you. Just remember that.
Oh, no, I'm trying to figure out which one's full.
Got it?
I got it.
Oh, Karen, be okay now?
I'm not doing this.
I think you are.
Are we okay? Now, you were saying something about the
I want,
head?
Oh, yeah,
I
we
want
got
one
Chad.
with Emily and
We
Elise.
have a picture of
Dad,
Papa.
with my two nieces. I want one with you too.
Brothers. Okay. Definitely put a picture.
That was right before Dad died.
That's what I
Do that.
They were less fat.
Yeah.
Wait, now I gotta get closer.
Yeah, that's bad.
Look at Corey.
I'm gonna go down.
Let's go then.
A little bit more. There you go. Have you been doing your squats? There you go.
No more paparazzi, please. Making jelly and hot sauce and canning.
I wasn't sure where that was going.
Canning, you know, green beans, black-eyed peas, purple peas. The whole family, the girls would show up and we'd spend the whole day together. Our fingers would turn purple, and it was a time of my life. I loved it.
When you talk about girls, you talk about because
The ones that are going to love on you so much, you're going to go into sugar shock. Vicky, Joe, and Jamie. Yeah.
So, Dan, I reflect on that a lot, especially the older I get.
Yeah.
I wish my kids would have had the same type of opportunity as a small kid that I did. Just jump on your bike and take off, go to the town.
Yeah.
When the street lights came on, you better be at home.
We were free range kids.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Uncle Jim lived a block that way, Aunt Nell lived a block behind us that way, Mama lived 3 blocks that way, Aunt Jean lived,
Yeah.
and then Miss Brown, our art teacher, and then the Tinsley's deputy sheriff, and then the,
Sheriff.
Yeah.
and then we had,
Well,
Hook's deputy
the black family
sheriff.
lived behind us, Miss Johnson.
Yeah.
She was just, you know.
She was an aunt to us.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, one day I was screwing up. She worked at the college, and I was screwing up one day. Me and a bunch of boys were screwing up there at the Civic Center, and we all got tagged by 4 old black women, and they each grabbed a boy. And well,
Lily Mae.
Aunt Lily Mae grabbed me, and they took off this way, and we took off to the front door, and she got me to the front door, and she said, "I don't have to call your mama, do I?" "No, ma'am."
My grandmother hired, like, they were the first black family, and my grandmother hired her to cook in her restaurant. And so when this is something I found out, do you know what the green travel guide is? It was a travel guide
For
that-
black people.
For black people, that places it was safe to stop and eat dinner and stuff.
Segregation, yeah.
And so people would come to my grandmother's restaurant's back door,
CDM Cafe.
C&M Cafe, to eat.
And Mama could cook. Oh my gosh.
All I could say is that from, as an only kid who for 56 years didn't have,
And have.
Moose, shut up. That, I know, fight through it. That I couldn't have asked for a better situation to come together with a new family, with my family. And finding you guys, because of Chris, thank you.
Good
I
job.
wanna welcome, I want to thank you guys for welcoming me to this wonderful family. And I feel more love than I could even have dreamed or fantasized about. And to be brought in so quickly and so openly, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. Cheers. Clink, 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 clink.
Okay, Alan?
oh,
Am I speaking for the brothers?
It's a little burned in that.
Burned? How do you burn champ?
You over freeze it. Sorry.
It's high school, there's college football all over.
Jug.
We don't
Jug.
have any in this cage. Huh? Well, from where we came from, not having any idea that you were even alive, to today, it's been surreal. I think it's probably the key word. It's a blessing. I thank God that He put us together, and He's the one who put us together for a reason, whatever the reason is. Welcome to the family. You're as much a part of this family as if you've been here from day one. So you have full rights, you have full love, you have full everything. You're
And I got a lot of mischief to make up for, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But welcome to the family. We love you.
Thank
And
you.
your family.
Thank you, thank you. Clink, clink, clink.
Again, Moose, this is not a,
I'm not drinking no more.
Do you want the bottle?
Do you have a straw?
We
There's a
always-
take a straw out of there, put it in the bottle.
We always talked about the fact that there was not, it felt like there should have been somebody between me and Alan. I always felt like that should have been, that there should have been somebody between me and Alan. Just like there was a gap missing between me and Alan. All the years growing up. And now the gap is filled. You know, we didn't know you were there. Wished you'd been here the whole time. We love you.
Thank you, thank you. Don't chug, Moose.
we have one more.
All right, Mr. Eloquence.
Okay, so this has been a blessing because not only has it brought us back a lot closer, but it's brought us closer to family, extended family that we'd kind of separated from, and it's brought all of us back together and rebuilt our family and reignited our passion for our family. I'm very proud of my whole family here to say that, to see how much they embraced you and showed love to you with unconditional, because that's all they've ever given to me, and I'm just so proud to have them as a family, and then now to have you guys, Laura, you, and the girls as part of this great family. So here's to just an even stronger family.
It is unconditional, provided you follow the stipulations that are set forth.
Yeah, the dues are due first of each month.
I gotta have 5,000 right off the bat.
Oh, boy.
He's got an AC to replace.
Laura, I need a new family. So one of the jokes that I've had going around for the last couple of
I
years
gotta drink
is the
something.
fact that these girls will jump on my rear end and ride me like a horse. And my one comment is, I need a new family. And now I have them. So am I living with you, or am I living with him, or am I living with?
Oh, you wanna live with them? No. Okay,
We have a pool.
we got more phone calls. We got more phone calls and texts from friends and family from the initial Facebook
That I put out?
that you put out where it said, I hope they can handle me, I'm a handful. And everybody to a word said he better be or he ain't gonna survive this family.
All my friends, especially my church family, were
It's
saying
cute
the
that he
same thing.
thinks
to me.
that, this is the remark I would get, it's cute that he thinks that, little does he know. And so,
I can hold my own ass down. Thank you.
good to be here.
When I go over the top.
Oh, it's,
Hey, I'm glad we got long arms.
Finally, somebody can actually wrap his arms around him.
I'm glad we got long arms for you. You're in our belly up.
No real arms.
I don't know about those two over there though, we're not ready.
It's like they were screaming insects.
So Tom posted this.
What?
The great meet and greet is better than I ever dreamed. I have a huge loving bunch of brothers and family. The first photo is my biological mother, Jeri.
Oh,
So it's a picture of my mom,
cool.
about 1975 in her glamour shot. Let's see what people wrote. She's beautiful. I won't say that you look like her, but I love you anyway. Good. And then the four of us together. Oh, and then the hug.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, that's got some comments. Best picture, I love this for you. I'm trying to find out who liked it. Me, my cousin Dee in Missouri, my cousin Jamie in Amarillo, my cousin Vicky in Amarillo, and the rest of them are people I do not know, so they must be friends with Tom and his family. So,
Or anybody else who's tagged,
or anybody else who's tagged, which would be Mickey Allen.
depending on their privacy settings.
So, hi Tom, I don't know you, but you now have a great group of brothers. Your biological mom was a beautiful lady. I grew up with this family and they were always one of my favorite families. Congratulations. I've got to like that. My cousin Jamie, Tom, welcome to the family. Love the pic of you and 4 brothers hugging. Let's like that. My cousin Vicky, me too, Jamie. Like that. Hello. My cousin Jojo, me 3, of course. My cousin Jackie, one of my mom's very best friends. Then they became family. She was one of a kind, precious and fun. It's nice to see this about my mom.
So, do you think this weekend would have happened if your parents were still with us?
No, I don't. I don't think Mom would have been very happy with it. I don't know. Especially if Dad were still here, I think she would have said no. But I think after all these years, she might have been okay with it. She might have, in fact, insisted on it if we had not been sure. She might not have wanted to go herself, but she would have been okay with us meeting our brother. So, I don't know. That's all those what ifs. She was a very private person when it came to certain things, and this very well might have been one thing she just didn't want shared because it had gone on so long. And I'm sure she would have been horrified for it to get out that this had happened, even with the positive responses we've had from family and all her friends and our friends growing up. And it might just be something she'd rather not remember. Might have been very, very painful to be there by herself, to have to give up a child, and then not have anybody to give her a shoulder to cry on.
Right.
That's what's sad, I think.